So we start a new chapter today, that is linear inequalities. So this will involve the inequations and all. So you have seen this chapter is very common from your childhood only. It deals with the lesser than symbol or greater than symbol, or lesser than equal to or greater than equal to. Such symbols are very common over there in this chapter. All of us know. Now we can write something like x greater than 5. Okay, so x may be some variable, something which is greater than 5, like say starting after 5. If it is real number, it will start from 5.0001 and onwards, any value. Now you can write also something like 8 lesser than 10. Okay, so there are two type of inequalities which we mainly observe. So this kind of inequalities we call numerical inequalities, and this kind of thing situation where certain variables are there, we call literal inequalities. So these are the things which we get. Now instead of equation like say x equals to or say 2x equals to 10, we are putting these symbols, and therefore instead of inequations we are getting inequations or inequalities. That means one side is smaller or bigger than the other side, so that means they are not balanced. Okay, so we can discuss simply the rules of inequalities. The rules, there are only a few rules you can say. So first of all, you can add same thing to the both side, or same thing to be added or subtracted from the both sides. So let's say this is x greater than 5, so you can add up 1 on both sides. Okay, so this will work. So x plus 1 is greater than 5 plus 1. Second rule is that you can, so addition or subtraction. Okay, so it can be x plus minus 1 greater than 5 plus minus 1, as of this first literal inequalities. Now the second rule, we can just say you can multiply or divide by some number. Say I multiply by 3. Okay, so it will be something like 15. So I have multiplied 3 on both sides. Third, you can say you can divide by any non-zero number. Okay, so say x by 10 is greater than 5 by 10. This will also work. Non-zero, remember the denominator must be non-zero. So these are very predictable, easy rules, but most importantly, please remember that if you multiply with any negative number, that means say if x and 5 are multiplied by minus, this sign will reverse. Look at it. That means this is very importantly, x greater than 5, it's minus x and minus 5. If you multiply with minus, it will reverse. Immediately the inequality symbol will reverse. Number 5, if you take the reciprocal of this, okay, 1 by x and 1 by 5, this thing is also reversed. Okay, if you take the reciprocal of both sides, so you can take example of here also. Say 1 by 8 and 1 by 10, you know which is bigger, which is smaller. So 1 by 10 is smaller. This thing you know because it's 1/10 and 1/8. So 1/8 is bigger, obviously. So these are simple rules. Now we can start simple sums on this. Okay, we get a sum over here. Say x belongs to some real number, so we have to solve this. We have to solve this. 7x plus 3 is lesser than 5x plus 9. So what to do? It's kind of equation like thing only. So you move this 5x to this side, you get a 2x lesser than, 3 moves to this side, you get a 6. So you get x is lesser than 3. Okay. So you can write answers in 3 ways. Okay. Different types of answers we can write. X lesser than 3 means you can write x belongs to, it's a number which is lesser than 3. That means it's minus infinity, any negative number till 3. It's an open interval. Okay. So this you can write. Already you got some answer. This also you can write x lesser than 3. Okay. So the first one is a set representation interval. The second one is direct solving of the inequality. The third one is you can solve a number line. So what you can do, you can solve a number line with plus infinity and minus infinity on both sides. Say there is a 0 over here. So 1, 2, 3. So this is 3. So you can write something like this. So this is a kind of solution also. That means 3 onwards, it's a hollow bubble, you can understand. So this is a representation on the number line. So if it is asked in the question that represent it on the number line, you will do like this, or you can write any of one of these answers. So let us see another sum now. So here we get another sum like this, we have to solve. So what we can do, we can cross multiply, we get a 9 into x minus 2 lesser than equal to 25 into 2 minus x. Then 9x minus 18 lesser than equal to 50 minus 25x, and you can transpose the sides. So 25 comes over this side to become plus, so you get a 34x, and this moves to this side to get a 68. So 34x is lesser than equal to 68. So you know, if you divide, you will get a 2. So x is lesser than equal to 2. So again you can write 3 kind of answers, you know, I told you. Either you can write this, or you can write x belongs to something like, if it is a real number, that means x belongs to R. So you can write something like minus infinity up to 2. It's an open closed interval. See this, it's equal to, lesser than equal to given. Or if you try to draw the number line, so minus infinity and plus infinity. So 0. This is 1, this is 2. So it will be a dark bubble this time because it includes this thing. Okay, so these are the types of answers you can represent the solution with. So let us see the next one. Okay, we get another sum over here. This is a problem sum. Find all pairs of consecutive odd positive integers. So both of which are smaller than 10, such that their sum is more than 11. So let us take the consecutive odd integer. So we can take 2x plus 1 and say 2x plus 3. Okay. So you know 2x plus 1 is considered as an odd number. So I took 2x plus 3 also, which is the next odd number, consecutive odd number. So each of these are smaller than 10. Now their sum is more than 11. So let us do another thing, that is 2x plus 1 plus 2x plus 3. This is more than 11. So from individually these two, we get 2 inequalities. That is 2x plus 1 is lesser than 10. That means 2x is lesser than 9, or x lesser than 9 by 2. 9 by 2 is 4 and half. Okay. And here we get another thing, that is 2x plus 3, that is also lesser than 10, That means if you add up, you get 2x lesser than 7, which is x lesser than 7 by 2. Okay. So these are the two criteria. So here you get x lesser than 4.5 and here you get x lesser than 3.5. So if you take the common of both this thing, this is the thing to be considered, x lesser than 7 by 2, that means 3.5. So x, you can say x is equal to some kind of numbers like 3, because this is 3.5, 3, 2, these are the numbers. Okay. Now if we solve this inequality, sum is more than 11, we get what? We get 4x plus 4 is greater than 11. That means 4x is greater than 7. Okay. Or we get x greater than 7 by 4. So 7 by 4 is a number. Okay. So that means basically x greater than 1 whole 3 by 4. So that's why I have written 2. Okay. That means x can be more than 1 whole 3 by 4 means what? It will be 2, 3 onwards, and here there is a restriction that it will be less than, this means what? 3.5. Okay. So these can be the possible numbers. Okay. So if we put 2 over here, what are the numbers? The numbers are this and this. So if we put x equals to 2, then what will be the numbers? The numbers are 5 and 7. Right. So check the numbers. Each of them is lesser than 10 and the sum is more than 11. Now if you put x equals to 3, okay, if you put x equals to 3, you get numbers 7 and 9. Put over here 3, you get what? 7. Put over here 3, you get 9. So 7 and 9 are also the numbers which are consecutive numbers, consecutive odd integers, addition of which will be more than 11, but individually they are lesser than 10. So 5, 7 or 7, 9 are the pair of consecutive odd positive integers we get. We cannot get 3 and 5 because why? So you see that 3 and 5, if you add up, it will be 8, which is lesser than 11. So it's not satisfying this condition. So these are the two things. See, this kind of question you can always do like some kind of trial and error, you can always try and find out, but that is not the method. Okay, you have to think like an inequality. Okay, you have to think of some inequality, you have to develop the inequations and write over there, because for writing this line and for writing this line, marks are allotted in exam. Okay, so it's very realistic that you have to write this and solve this. If you can just try out few numbers in rough work and say that this will be the answer, it's not the correct method. So please try to understand, see this again and again and get it. Let us move to the next sum. Oh, we are back with another sum over here. So the longest side of a triangle, so let us take any triangle like this. The longest side of the triangle is 3 times the shortest side. So if you take this visually, if I take this x, so this will be 3x. And the third side is 2 centimeters. So this is, let us consider this as the third side. It's 2 centimeters shorter than the longest side. So it will be 3x minus 2. So 2 centimeters shorter than the longest side. So longest is 3x. This is the shortest. Now if the perimeter of this, So you can see that x plus 3x plus 3x minus 2. So what they say, if the perimeter is at least 61 centimeter, at least 61 centimeter means 61 centimeter or more. So put the symbol correctly, it's this. It's 61, maybe 61 equal to 61 or 62, 63 more. So this side is actually more. So find the minimum length of the shortest side. So let us solve. What we get, 6 7x minus 2 so I get x greater than equal to 9. So you got it. That means it can be 9 or more. It can be 9 or more, any number from 9 onwards. So the minimum length will be minimum length of the shortest side is 9 centimeter. So this is the answer. Is it okay? So next part we will see the some kind of area representation, the equations, how to shade and all. Thank you.